Hi, my name is Greg Albright with Change for a Dollar. I'd like to talk to you today about how you can be as efficient as possible on Twitter and still accomplish your goals, or how to use Twitter in 8 minutes a day and do everything that you need to do. I think the one thing with Twitter to think about is that you're trying to make connections. That's really the purpose. Sharing information, but you're also making connections with other people that are trying to make connections as well. They're networkers just like you are, and Twitter is a great place to network with other connectors. And so, even though you may only be spending 8 minutes, what matters most is that you're spending a quality 8 minutes making good connections with people, and you see it more as making quality connections and not a lot of quantity. So for your 8 minutes, what I suggest you do is ahead of time, think about 3 keywords that you want to have in your mind as you go throughout your 8 minutes. These are 3 keywords related to kind of what you're promoting right now, what you want to be talking about, what you're interested in, or what your customers may be talking about. If you're a hardware supply store, your keywords for the day may be lumber, paint, and paint brushes. If you're a nonprofit that has a golf tournament coming up, you may be talking about volunteers, golf, or sponsors. But keep those keywords in mind because you'll need them as you go through this. And I really recommend that you set a timer. I think it'll show you how efficient you can be if you set a timer, and it'll also keep you on task for focusing on your keywords and getting your business done. The 3 areas that I suggest you focus on start with retweets and mentions, search, and your follow feed. So when you have time, you have your first 8 minutes, I suggest you start with retweets and mentions. Who's mentioned you? Who's retweeted your tweets? Those are the people that have tried to make a connection with you and that you want to spend the most time with. Thanking them, maybe reading their profile, finding out more about them, and retweeting something that they've tweeted as a way to say thank you. That's really one of the best ways to say thank you online with Twitter is retweeting one of their tweets because that's far more valuable to them than an acknowledgement simply by saying thanks. Because by retweeting, you are acknowledging and you're helping them at the same time. So spend some time retweets, people that have retweeted you, and at mentions. The next available amount of time you have, I suggest you go into search. And you can do that through whatever program you're using, whether it's Twitter or Hootsuite or TweetDeck, and search for your keywords being talked about right now. You may do that in the location, general geographic area that you are right now. It may be in a city or wherever you want to search for those, but see what people are talking about when it comes to your keywords. You may find potential customers out there. You may find people are talking about you, your competitors, whatever it may be, but listen to what they're saying. And this may be an opportunity for you to jump in and talk to them about what's going on and why they're interested in those things, and just let them know that you're listening. There's also a good way to do it so that you're not being creepy or stalkerish to just say, hey, I heard you were talking about this, and this is kind of what we do. Good luck with this, or be helpful and positive, and I think people will appreciate that. Whatever time you have remaining, I suggest you spend that on your follower feed. And the reason I put this last is because your followers are going to be a motley collection of tweets about all kinds of different things, representing the potpourri of life, if you will. And so they may not all be business related or what you're trying to accomplish in your 8 minutes. But there may be some interesting things out there. You never know what you might want to reply to or retweet that's important. You may also want to hear about other keywords that you want to use in the future, things that they may be talking about now that you want to talk about later in the future. And there just may be some big event that everyone's talking about that you may want to hear more about. So when you get done with your 8 minutes, I really suggest that you think about how you did. Did you make good connections? If you'd had 8 minutes in the real world, even at a networking event, how well would you have done? So that'll tell you whether or not you should spend another 8 minutes the next day on it or not, or areas that you can improve on. The purpose of this 8 minute exercise is not really to just do 8 minutes. You can make it 10, you can make it 15 if you have it. The purpose is to really have a definable goal. Say, I'm going to stick to this, I'm going to have a timer. After this, I'm going to be done. so that it forces you to stay focused on your keywords and what you're there to do. Twitter is a great platform for sharing information. It's all kinds of information that can lead you down rabbit holes of unproductivity fairly quickly, but it's all fun stuff. And so it's definitely worth doing, having fun on Twitter, but you want to make sure you've gotten your work done first. So I hope this was helpful to focus on retweets and @mentions first. Search for keywords being talked about right now related to your business that you can get in and get engaged with people already having conversations about you, and then look at your follower feed in 8 minutes a day. I'd love for you to follow me on Twitter. Let me know how you're doing with that. If it was work for you, if it was not helpful for you, I'd love to know why. And thank you for watching this. Have a great day and happy tweeting.